Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. I have talked on the air many times about how women try to change us. They frequently sign off on whatever we do. Examples, we like to smoke weed. They'll either smoke it with us or put up with it. Drinking or going out with the guys to drink. In the beginning, that's cool. In fact, a lot of chicks will portray themselves as cool chicks. You know, they'll come out and hang out with you and the guys and play pool with you and have a few drinks with you and everything. And later on, when they settle down, they decide they don't want to go out anymore. And they don't want you going out anymore either. Even though you're not even going out to pick up chicks, you're just going out to play pool with the boys. No. Sports. Amazing what women will tolerate. I've met women in sports bars, okay? Here in Southern California, sports bars are not for watching sports, believe it or not. Most sports bars here in SoCal, and it's different from anywhere else in the country, turn the sound down on the game. You cannot hear the game. You can see the picture, and there's music playing. Because most sports bars are thinly disguised meat markets. Women go to sports bars to meet guys in SoCal. It's not like that anywhere else I've ever lived or visited, anywhere. And you go to Boston or Chicago or Philly or New York, guys are at sports bars watching sports. And the populace inside the sports bar is 99% male. And a couple of lesbians sucking down Bud Lights. That's it. Straight women just don't go to sports bars in that part of the world. We've got listeners in Buffalo. Come on. Do women go to sports bars? And would you want to date the ones who do? Please. No. No, you would not. But in SoCal, women come to sports bars. Women come to sporting events. 40% of the people who go to see the Los Angeles Kings when the NHL is playing are women. 40%. I was at Dodger opening day here in Los Angeles. I would say it was 50-50. Half women, half men. You go to Fenway Park and watch a ball game. It's 99% guys. And a few fat chicks. That's it. You don't see all these women out there wearing pink baseball hats like you see at Dodger Stadium. You just wouldn't see it. So some chicks will play like they're cool, you know. You're down watching Monday Night Football. It's happy hour. You're there with the boys. She'll come down and watch with you, have a few beers. Later on, after you move in together, it's like, you always have to go out and watch Monday Night Football. You always have to have happy hour. You always have to. So what happens is that rather than accepting the idea that these are characteristics of you, and it could be any number of other things. We've heard women complain about these things on the show. You like hunting or fishing, or you like just spending some time alone with your dad, or you like fixing your car in the garage and you're in there on the weekend working under the hood. All completely innocent pursuits. I mean, she should be thrilled you're not out banging somebody in your office or picking up chicks or getting on Classmates.com and trying to find people you have unresolved issues with in high school and all that. She should be thrilled that all you do is come home and work on the car. Or that you sit and watch ESPN. What is more benign than that? And yet there are women who silently tolerate this stuff until they get to know us better. Then they decide to get out the toolbox and start fixing us. They start doing the radical makeover. And you know this is true. I personally have a passion for jazz. I mean, I like alternative. I like lots of kinds of music, but I really, really like jazz a lot. I have boxes at the Hollywood Bowl. I go to see jazz, like it. And I have had women who have silently put up with that until they had me safely in their camp, and then suddenly just start to browbeat me. You know, why do you care about jazz? Why do you like it? Why do you insist on going all the time? It's like, you know what? I'm the wrong guy for you. Because that's who I am. I have a wine cellar and a wine bar. And I like having people over to try some wines at my house. If you don't like that, I'm the wrong guy for you. I have satellite TV and I have the sports packages of the 4 major team sports. Baseball, football, basketball. Well, hockey was once one of the major team sports. Clearly it's no longer one of the top 4. I couldn't tell you what the 4th one is, but it ain't hockey. But I have packages for all 4 of those. If you don't like the idea that I'm going to sit down and watch a game, I'm the wrong guy for you. I learned the hard way, and I've told this on the air before. Over the years, there were women I was with, and I actually started to chip away at my own identity and started to watch less ball games, started to hang out less with the guys, didn't see jazz so often. Do you know I actually got rid of my boxes at the Hollywood Bowl? I had to get them back. I was with a chick who just found jazz annoying. So what was the point? And yes, you're right, Dean. I did have a relationship with somebody who started the vacuum cleaner right about 1 p.m., right about kickoff time. Every Sunday at 1, it was time to vacuum. And her excuse for doing it? Well, you're watching the game, and I need to get this done. So since you're busy, I'll do this while you're busy. And I'm like, well, if you're vacuuming, I can't hear the game. And, you know, it's just all this passive-aggressive behavior that just drives me insane. But what I don't understand, and I did it myself, and finally I didn't understand it to the point where I changed my behavior, okay? What I don't understand is why people put up with this. Why do you want to make a relationship work so much that you try to be the square peg in the round hole? You know, if you like hunting or fishing or watching the NFL or drinking or hanging out with the guys or having time alone or reading or jazz or hockey or whatever it is, if you like that and somebody comes along and, you know, they stay just long enough to worm their way into your heart and then they start chipping away at your true personality, why? Why not just leave and find somebody who likes what you like? You know, ladies, if what you want is a guy who wants to see Phantom of the Opera and go to chick flicks, go see Cats, or Stomp, or Julio Iglesias, if you want a guy like that, I'll tell you where to find one. Any gay bar. If you want a straight man, that's not what straight guys want to do. We just don't. Now, I agree, there are also men who try to change women. But the changes are of a different nature. And honestly, I think if guys are paying the freight or they're paying the majority of the bills and stuff, I think guys deserve to have some say. But even so, guys, if you have to tell somebody they have to stop doing things, and you have to keep telling them, like with women, you frequently have to say, there's not going to be any more going out with the girls to clubs. There's not going to be any calling your exes on the phone. Not going to be any more male friends. The more of these things you have to say, let me tell you something. The more obvious it is, this is not a relationship. This is not the right person for you. I used to believe the following lie that we are told all the time, and here it is. The following lie we are commonly told. Relationships require a lot of work. I say if a relationship requires a lot of work, you are with the wrong person. They also say that relationships require a lot of compromise. Again, compromise to me is a very negative term. The more you have to compromise yourself, the more you have to compromise your personality, the more you have to give up things that make up your character, your personality, your soul, the more likely it is you are with the wrong person. It's that simple. You're with the wrong person. If you have to constantly listen to someone nagging you or telling you what to do and not do, or to tell you what to stop doing, you're with the wrong person. If you like going to a ball game on Sunday and she likes going to flea markets, she insists that you go to more flea markets and less ball games, and you give in, you're with the wrong person. And you're better off not being in any relationship and just banging around than you are, in order to have sex on a regular basis with the same person, giving in to all this crap. Now, I don't blame you for not knowing this, especially if you're 21 or 23 or 25 years old. I don't blame you, because I did the same thing you do. You know, when you are 21 years old and you meet a chick, you tend to have these kind of conversations. Like, you know, you like hamburgers? I like hamburgers. You like going to the beach? I like going to the beach. You like beer? I like beer. And then you try to justify a relationship by saying things like that. You try to look for what you have in common. And frequently you are really reaching. But can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I have not compromised my personality. I have not compromised my soul. I have not compromised my characteristics, who I am. That I always do exactly what I want to do. Can you honestly say that? Do you ever feel sometimes like you're being held hostage? Like there's a gun to your head? Like you're being made to do things you don't like doing? Guys, I'll name a few. How about going to weddings of people you've never met? Do you really like doing that? And you know she loves to push you to do that kind of thing. Do you really like doing that? Like, it's one thing to go stag to a wedding because you're going to nail a bridesmaid, okay? But no, you're with your girl. And she's got some friend from high school that she hasn't talked to in 5 years, who's getting married. And she wants to go to the wedding, and she wants you to go with her. You really want to be there? Why do you say yes to something like that? Why? Yikes. You know, how many times have the following things happened, okay? The World Series is on. And she has to move. She needs you to help her move. There you are carrying furniture on your back instead of watching the World Series. Huh? I don't understand this. I don't understand it. By the way, there are things that women do that would irk me and that I would say no. And my opinion is, don't knuckle under to me and agree not to do these things. If they're that important to you, break up with me. Do us both a favor. Can I give you some examples? I had a woman one time who I dated casually, who was a stripper. She was hot. She was one of these chicks who was 21 but looked like she was 14. Don't worry, I checked her ID. She was 21. She was going to college. She was stripping her way through college. And she wanted to know why we never, quote-unquote, take our relationship to the next level. And I said, it's because you're a stripper. And so she offers to give up stripping. Now, first of all, when someone offers to do that, if they really wanted to give it up, they'd have done it on their own. Okay, so why in the world would you even take somebody up on that offer? Hey, I have a worse one. Listen to this one, okay? I told you that I have, although I recommend you not do it, I have dated single mothers in the past. And at one time, I had a relationship with a woman who had a 9-year-old son. And she wanted to move with me to a new job I had in another city. And I said, no, I'm going alone. And she said, why not? And I said, because I don't want to live with your son. I was honest. You know what she offered to do? She offered to give the son to his father. Now, come on. Why in the world would you... How badly do you need to be in a relationship to do something like that? And by the way, anybody who would just say, oh, I'll just give my son back to his father, what are they going to do to you when it becomes convenient? How do you take somebody you love and just go, oh, you know what? I have a son, but I'll just give him back. Yikes. I don't understand that. Like, why would you compromise? If somebody says to you, I don't want to live with you because you have a son, I don't want to live with him, that's the wrong guy for you. That's the moment you step up to the plate and go, you know what? If you don't want to be around my son, we're a package. You're the wrong guy. But they don't. They will agree to any crazy compromise just to keep a relationship going that ultimately will break up over the same issue down the line. If you have to ask a guy to give up football, you're with the wrong guy. With the wrong guy, because he's never going to give it up. And if he stops watching it, it only means when you're out of the room, he's peaking. And then it means he comes home late on Monday nights because he's got work to do. And then it means he has to make up other excuses to get out of the house. Eventually, all of these relationships, it's like a toxic waste dump. Eventually, the toxic waste leaks out and contaminates the entire area. If you have to compromise with somebody, the relationship isn't working. That person is the wrong person. The more work you have to do on a relationship, the more likely it is you're just trying to fix a bad brake job. You have the wrong person. And you should simply leave. So my question to you is this. What is it that the person who loves you is trying to get you to stop doing, and are you going to listen to them, or are you going to leave them?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Well, break it down for me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
You are on top of your game, my friend. On top of your game.
Thank you. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show on 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Derek on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Derek.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Awesome. Hey, so check this out. Was with a girl for 3.5 years. Not only did she want me to give up my entire life, but she wasn't into doing anything, sex, nothing. I was put on hold, if you will.
Yeah.
So on top of that, I have a baby of 5 months old.
Why'd you let that happen?
You know, I am not exactly sure why I let that happen, but
well, how can you not know? That's pretty important.
It is pretty important.
Did you think about it?
It's very important.
Well, did you think about it before you did it?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. No. Yeah, that's a yes or no question.
That would be a yeah.
You did think about it.
I did think about it.
So you made a conscious decision to do it.
I made a conscious decision to do it. That's absolutely correct.
Based on what? What were your rationales for that?
Right. It was something that I thought would, just like everybody else thought would happen, and it just didn't work out. So I said, hey.
Wait. Your phone was cutting out. Say that last line again.
Oh, I said, I just like every other guy out there thought that, it would work. It would, everything would work out and it would be okay.
But you weren't even married.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So, that is something that I was obviously, looking forward to, happening down the road, obviously.
But then why didn't you wait until that time to have a kid?
You know what? You hit the nail on the head, obviously. Doing it backwards. Doing it definitely backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, she just, everything.
So once you had a baby, then she had you as a hostage.
Absolutely.
Yep, and you never thought ahead to that, did you?
No.
You didn't realize you were now trapped.
I was trapped, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
Definitely. So anyway, long story short, I'm not with her anymore. We've been split up, I think, for 3 or 4 months now, and it just wasn't, no baby, no nothing, no how cute the baby is going to keep anything together if you're just absolutely...
Right. So now how much money do you have to mail to this woman every month?
Well, here's the thing. We're out of the court system, thank God, and I've told her, hey, I'm more than willing to be there, to help you out. I obviously want to see my kid because I want to be part of her life and everything. But right now, she's handling it on her own. I haven't gone that road.
So you're not paying anything?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank God.
Well, so far.
So far.
The minute she gets hit by a bus or she gets sick for a while, don't worry, you'll be hearing from her.
That's the thing. I'm not exactly sure exactly what I should do in that situation. Should I cover my bases? Do I go to an attorney and say, hey, this is my situation. I want to cover my bases, so if she does try to come after me.
You'll pay the same either way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You might as well not.
Anyway, yeah, tough situation, but nevertheless, I got out of it just because my life was miserable. So.
Right, and what did she want you to give up?
Oh, everything. My life, hanging out, going. I'm in retail management, have been for 5 years, so I'm a busy guy. But when I do have time to hang out or go do things, I want to be able to do it. She wasn't having that, especially with the kids.
And she knew what you did for a living before she got with you.
Absolutely, she did. Yeah, actually, she was in the same trade that I was, so she knew just as bad, just as was going to be.
So what, do you work for like a fast food joint or something?
Oh, no, jewelry manager.
Oh, jewelry.
Jewelry store.
Manage a jewelry store. Okay. So suddenly she wanted you to get out of that business and do what exactly?
Well, she didn't have to get out of that.
Well, the phone is screwing up, so we're going to move on. But thank you, Derek. I appreciate the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much, Brian.
Hey, I just wanted to say I'm really glad you're talking about this because I'm going through the same situation right now.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I, we got to that point 6-7 months, where you realize you're either going to go for it or, split ways. And it was, the situation was not really with her. She's awesome, and our relationship was great, but I'm in a band. My whole dream is to go on the road, and she's getting ready to go to school. And also, to throw in, she's also Jehovah's Witness. I'm not. So that you get that whole family, I'll never work. So, but you're right there in the back of my head. It was like, are we going to do this and then have a disaster in, a year or two, or just call it off now?
So as a Jehovah's Witness, she didn't have sex with you then, right?
Oh, yes, she did. She's absolutely amazing.
Isn't that devout?
But the thing is it's not, for her, it's not really the religious aspect. It's the family. Her family will disown her if she stays with me. So, and she's young. She's 19 and I'm 25, and it's like, I've been listening to you long enough to know that, it's like, what do we, we got dreams, and we both want to go different places. But if you just lock us in a room, there's no problems. But our desires for what we want to do in the future are different. And so I'm really glad you're talking about this right now, just because I'm going through it right now. And
why would you even go through it anymore? It's pretty clear. Your dream has not been realized. She wants to get in the way of it. Done.
Well, yeah, but it took a minute. She didn't really want to get in the way. It was just, it just kind of started going along and hanging out, and it started getting heavy. And when it started getting really heavy, it was like, I think we're in over our heads, and we both want different paths.
So what do you think she's going to think when she's in school and you're with a band on the road somewhere?
I really don't know.
Well, let me give you a little preview. She's not going to like it.
Yeah, probably not. But, it's just, I'm glad you're talking about it, though, because it's just, if we had stayed together a couple more years and this for surely would have come up, it would have been a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And rather than this, we're splitting it's completely mutual. And it's just, we're going two different directions. Have a good life.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you should do, because that's how you get into a lot of pain. When you're with somebody who you have so little in common with, and you try to make it work, you try to force it. You act as if whatever they want that's unreasonable to you is reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know, it's tough. But, it makes sense when you just say, this isn't, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We both have different dreams, and we're both young. We're not 45 and settled down. We haven't gotten anywhere near there. So it's like,
I'm glad to hear you're doing what you got to do there, Brian. You do need to get out, and I'm glad you are. Tom
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis.
Tell me about your dates.
Basically, we spent a week in bed.
You spent a week in bed. There's a date. My kind of date.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
John.
Sean, 32. Married 7 years, bro.
Uh-huh.
Hating every minute of it.
Really?
I gotta give up everything, man. No more races, no more baseball, football, you name it.
Why did you agree to that?
Why did I agree to it?
By the way, I'm saying this as someone who did that in the past myself. I agreed to give stuff like that up, and now I ask myself that question.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got 2 babies now, and it's like, where do I go from here?
When did she start telling you couldn't have that stuff anymore?
Right.
No, I asked you a question. When did she tell you?
Oh, probably about 2 years ago I've been going through this.
So so when she met you, you were into sports. You like watching sports on TV. You like going to games.
Right.
And 2 years ago, she decided to start telling you couldn't do this.
Right.
And what was her reason for starting on that 2 years ago? You've been together 7 years.
Well, she says that I'm not home enough for her and the kids, and I try to involve my kids in everything I do. I take them to the ball games and stuff. I don't know, maybe jealousy.
Well, but the thing is, she knew who you were, and you were already doing this.
I know it. I don't know what triggers them women up, changing their mind and stuff.
Well, because you tolerate it. You see, and this is what I did in the past. That's why I know, okay? You see, instead of trying to save the relationship by agreeing to go along, you have to say no when they first attempt to stop you from doing these things.
Right.
And you have to tell them, if you don't like it, you really ought to leave. I'm the wrong guy for you.
Right. Well, how about this point? Now, we got all men are after women, right?
Well, except on Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and some of those other shows.
Well, how about this for, if every guy's after a woman, they're going to have to give up women. So why any guy get married,
Well, John, you've come to the conclusion that I've been spouting off on this program for some time.
That's why I love you, my man.
John, thank you.
Okay, brother.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Dawn on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So you want to hear my problems?
No, I thought I'd just stand around.
Okay, well, I met my boyfriend 2 years ago, and our first date was motorcycle riding. I'm really open-minded, like a lot of things. He just got a new street bike. I opted to go on riding with him.
By the way, we'll see how open-minded you are as this call goes on. Go ahead.
Okay. And then I went on it with him, blah, blah, blah. And last night we were talking about, I said, I'm not going to nag you anymore. I'm going to let you do whatever you want to. I'm not going to tell you to keep the house clean or you need to see me more, blah, blah, blah. And I've been thinking that for a long time and kind of letting him do it. And now I'm miserable. Like, if I say I want more affection, he's just like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's just not the way I am. And I'm a guy, and Tom Leykis says that all guys are like this, and we can't change, and women just need to accept it. So I just wanted to know, where did the benefits come in for the women? And
here are the two choices. You either accept it or leave.
But are guys going to, because I'm a good-looking girl, I'm smart, I'm going.
Well, first of all, you're too young to be in a serious relationship, as your boyfriend probably knows. Okay.
Yeah, he's 23, too.
Well, that's part of your problem, dear.
Yeah.
That's number one.
How come the first year and a half he was all into me and all happy and making sure I was happy, and now he's just a total self.
Well, that's not uncommon in relationships by men or women. Once we have you in our back pocket, then we take you for granted. But, dear, you are a free agent. You're not married. You don't have a kid with this guy, I presume.
No.
All right, so you're free to go.
Yeah, and we're happy, and
you just said we're happy. No, you're not happy.
No, I'm not happy.
I mean, you keep telling people you're happy, but you're not.
Yeah.
So why don't you leave?
I don't know. Because I always think it's just a phase.
People don't change. Not for you, they don't.
I know.
So if you have to nag him to do things or not to do things,
Yeah, well,
You are with the wrong person.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I nag him for is say, I need more attention, blah, 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 but I let him do whatever he wants. I clean the house, he gets sex any day.
But you also were nagging him about cleaning the house, too.
Well, then I start cleaning it myself.
Yeah, but dear, again, you're resentful about that, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, by the way, why are you living with him?
Oh, I don't. I live at home with my parents, but I go over there almost every day.
So why are you concerned about whether he cleans his own house?
It's disgusting.
But it's not your house.
That's true.
Why do you care? See, this is what I'm talking about. Here you are, Miss Extreme Makeover. You go over there, you're going to tell him what to do with his house.
Yeah.
You're going to try to change him into a different kind of person who's more affectionate.
I stopped that.
But dear, the fact that you stopped it doesn't mean the problem doesn't still exist. Now, you've stopped it, but you just told me you're miserable.
Well, I'm resentful, yeah.
Resentful. So the fact that you're not doing it anymore only means that he is not miserable anymore.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that you're not.
So is he the problem or am I the problem? Am I doing something wrong or is this like it's...
Well, what you're doing wrong is expecting him to change.
Okay.
So if you don't like the way he is, you have to leave.
All right. I'll tell him that's what you said.
You can tell him that's what I said. If you don't like the way he is, don't be nagging him and telling him what to do. Tell him, I want to be with an affectionate person, and you're not one of them. I want to be with somebody who keeps his house clean. You're not one of those people. I want to be with somebody who pays his bills and isn't running from creditors or whatever. Whatever it is that you...
Right? That's a whole valid excuse for me. That's just what I want, and you can't give it to me, and that's all...
Of course. That's the only reason you're staying with him, because you can't think of a valid excuse to leave?
No, it's because
Of course it's valid. You need to be with a person who fulfills your needs.
Okay.
This is the one thing I understand the least about people in relationships. The fact that they're with people who are not their match, not compatible, and they keep trying to make it work.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep trying to mate a turkey and a goat all day. You're never going to get babies.
Oh, I'm so happy I called you. I told him I'm going to call him tomorrow, and he's going to tell me what it's like. He's like, okay.
I'm telling you.
I know.
Look,
I love you for it.
You don't have to put up with that. By the same token,
I know.
You should never be nagging somebody about what to do.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't like to, and it's just what I need, and he can't give me what I need, and I can't change that.
But there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Okay.
Why are we afraid of saying you don't fulfill my needs?
I don't know.
I mean, and there's, by the way, it's not even anything to argue about. Not even anything to get mad about.
Yeah.
He's not for you. You're not for him.
Okay.
It's that easy.
It is easy. I just need someone to tell me, man.
Well, you know what? I've been where you are, okay? I have silently tolerated crap that people do. And then one day I realized, why am I working so hard?
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it.
So an ideal relationship, or is it just flows? Don't need to tell people what to do. They match you. And
a perfect match is somebody who provides you with what you need without you having to nag them or compromise.
I love that. Well, Friday's almost here as I'm on my way out.
Good. You get ready to show those knockers, dear.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You have a vagina?
Yes.
And you're telling me you have a hard time finding somebody to fill it?
No. Not at all.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll have sex with you tonight.
Did you want to talk to my boyfriend?
I don't want to talk to him for. I'm negotiating with you right now.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show on 1-800-5800-TOM. Jesse on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going? I owe you a big thank you, my friend.
Do tell.
All right, well, I just broke up with my girlfriend of 1 year. I'm 21 years old simply because of listening to your radio show. I've never been happier. I was in this relationship for some ungodly reason and putting up with a lot of her stuff, you know, kind of saying yes at first, exactly what you preach against. But basically it turned out she was 4 years older than me. She was 25, and she was pushing marriage and all this nonsense on me. So the final straw, she goes to Vegas for one of these bachelorette parties, comes back totally wasted with, you know, bartenders' phone numbers on her hand and all this stuff.
And you dumped that bitch!
The Tom Leykis Show.